today, but we could. So morning, everyone. It's lovely to have those who can make it live and those who are listening to the recording. Welcome too. If you are able to just check in and give a couple of words of how you find yourself today. It's always lovely to have all our energy here in our virtual room together. So how are we all? Flip, there is big energy over the last few weeks. Our daughter was just saying to me this week that Mum, I just don't feel myself. And I mean, we talked about a number of things that could contribute, and so excited because she's actually giving up sugar. She's found it enormously hard. And I think we realized how many sweets she actually has been eating and boarding, which, I mean, that can provoke huge anxiety and unsettledness when you are having sugar so much, and then obviously when you withdraw for it. But there has been big energy in the last few weeks and months. And then this last weekend, there was that new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and which comes with its own huge energy. And I was actually listening to Pam Gregory or someone, and they were saying that sort of whatever the setup was can bring shocks and surprises and wild cards. And I just thought, wasn't that similar to the rugby with both New Zealand and South Africa winning? Like, it's that those were kind of the unexpected results. A shame, I think Ireland and France really saw themselves in the semi-finals, and sadly for them, but happily for us, they're not. So this sun and moon in this time, we're all in Libra, which is all about relationships and it shines a light on relationships. And this was especially over the US and South America. And this also shines a light on our subconscious, on our patterns, our relationship patterns, also just our life patterns, like what works, what doesn't, what we're repeating, what patterns come up for us time and time again. And interestingly, so I've been doing these 2 days, there's one more today, on Kate Northrup. I don't know if any of you know her. She's Christiane Northrup's daughter, and she does incredible work around money and managing one's money, and she brings in the spiritual and the physical worlds. And it's a lovely it's been 2 lovely hours, and then there's a third one, and it can lead into a course, but I'm going to expand on that in a moment. But so interestingly, there's the lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 28th of October that's still to come, and then, so according to Pam Gregory, Mars is in Scorpio, which is like a laser for digging up secrets and underhanded and underworld stuff and big money and criminal money. And in fact, this is the last eclipse in a financial sign or financial, I don't know, something, for the next 8 or 9 years that's coming up. And so money is going to be a big focus in the next month, which is quite understandable with the US elections on the horizon. And she said typically October is often when the financial wobbles have happened. So there's a huge sort of light on financial stuff. And interestingly, Kate Northrup's, a lot of her focus is all about emotional regulation, which is all what we're practicing here in our mindful moments, and nervous system regulation. And so she talks about this sort of, here's my notes from yesterday, these 2 spans from hyper-regulation, which is your freeze, which is your collapse status, freeze, you can't take action, it's the depressive state when you're dysregulated. And then the other end of the spectrum, when you're dysregulated, which is when we're anxious, there's too much doing, fight or flight. And many of us go between these. And I mean, we're obviously going to all go into them at some time. It's not about having perfection, but we're trying to be able to manage ourselves to get into this regulated state more often of nervous system regulation, and to expand that range. So that's our range of regulation or resonance or capacity. And so she talked about when we feel ourselves becoming dysregulated, which is so much of what we've talked about in the past, that we stop, we signal safety to ourselves by doing some of our practices, dropping into our breath, dropping into our heart space, going for a walk. And she talked about singing and the humming, which I'll tell you about now. and then savoring our lives. So that's creating the joy, the expansion, the gratitude. So that's exactly what we're doing in our mindful moments. This is what we're practicing all the time so that we can get to the state easier. And then noticing your little cues for when you dysregulated. I know one of my cues is I then reach for my phone all the time. I'm just all check. Oh, I'll go back to messages. So that for me is a signal when I'm going into dysregulation. Sometimes it can be shoulders tight or feeling of anxiety or overwork, that sort of thing. And so then she talks about singing in this vagus, because it tones the vagus nerve. And I mean, I talked about singing right in the beginning when I did all the talks at schools, about you can't sing and worry at the same time. And she talks about the resonance of singing and humming. And it's so powerful for regulating ourselves. And I'm going to play at the end, I'll play this beautiful song that she actually sang for us. I'm not going to sing it for you. So I'll just play that at the end. Remind me, I've got it saved here. She play. And she's just saying our ability to regulate our nervous system is your superpower, and it is your ability to tap into source, into God. So it's all about being able to drop into our breath and drop into our belly, just to have 100% focus on the breath for that moment, not the drama outside, not what's going outside, or to drop into our heart space, even to stand against a tree with your back against the tree, connecting with the tree, standing barefoot on the earth, all these practices that are so powerful. And then stepping into the sense of expansion. So she got us to do a practice of how would it feel in your body if anything were possible quickly, easily, and now, if I knew I couldn't fail and everyone would benefit and be thrilled for me, what do I desire when it comes to money? And it creates this feeling of expansion that we go into when we're doing our mindful moments as well. And so cultivating the sense of expansion and knowing that we can cultivate this, it's available to us at all times without anything outside actually changing. So really being able to feel into this expansion. And Pam Gregory also talked about it. I mean, when you're hearing messages, they come from different sources, totally different sources. She talks about stepping into a sense of expansion and this expanded consciousness of love and spaciousness, and dropping in. So we drop into our breath, drop into our heart space, but then we can also expand, look up to the heavens, look up and out, look up to the sky, because she says, how often are we looking down to our phones and we're narrowing our focus? I know Mandy is doing an amazing thing on social media and phones and things for our kids and us all in the next 2 days. I wish I was in Joburg to be able to go to them. It's so powerful. It's just getting people to these things. So yeah, instead of being closed down, we have to look up and expand our vision and our expand ourselves, because we're walking in two worlds at the moment, one of very closed 3D world and one of that's far more expansion. So that is our moment, and I'm going to just invite us. I'm just going to see what the chat says. Let me just see. Yeah, no, I definitely find that I'm dysregulated when I reach for my phone, like obsessively. That's a sign that I'm getting dysregulated. So I invite you just to ground yourself. If you're sitting in a chair, you might even want to take off your shoes if you can, slip them off. Feel your feet on the earth beneath you. Notice your seat on your cushion or chair. Feel the points of contact between your thighs, your buttocks, your lower back. And then sort of allowing this expansion, so this dropping down and sensing this grounding. And then noticing ourselves uncurling and expanding from the space of stability, uncurling and expanding towards the sky, towards the heavens, opening up, and either closing your eyes or just dropping your gaze, or if you're driving or something like that, just softening your gaze, but really feeding into this posture of grounding, support. of connection with the earth. And then at the same time of opening, of expansion, perhaps inviting a softening in your shoulders so that it allows your chest to open a little bit more, an elongation of your neck, even an opening of the top of your head up towards the sky, the heavens, the starlight, the sun, the moon dust. So that we really sense that we are between the two, earth and heaven. We come from both earth and heaven. And we balance between earth and heaven. And just taking a few moments on your own to explore this feeling as you want to in your body. Noticing the two, grounding and the expansion. And as we step into our meditation, allow these words just to land. Don't meditate to fix yourself, to heal yourself, to improve yourself, to redeem yourself. Rather, do it as an act of love, of deep, warm friendship to yourself. In this way, there's no longer any need for the subtle aggression of self-improvement, for the endless guilt of not doing enough. It offers the possibility of an end to the ceaseless round of trying so hard that wraps so many people's lives in a knot. Instead, there's now meditation as an act of love. How endlessly delightful and encouraging. And so in this moment, inviting a sense of gratitude that we are here, sitting here together, and inviting a feeling of love for ourselves, however accessible this may feel, but accepting that this is an act of love and that we cannot give outward love unless we can give inward love. We cannot love our neighbor until we love ourselves. So inviting in this sense of love and perhaps connecting it with it in your heart space. Noticing first how it might move in your heart space, perhaps with the rise and fall of your chest, or the beating of your heart. Feeling into the movement of love in your heart space. And then noticing if it has a color, a light. Perhaps it's a deep red or a golden light, a white light, rainbow, whatever it feels for you. Noticing a light, a texture, a sparkle, even a weight of love in your heart space. Noticing if it has a temperature, a warmth or coolness. And offering gratitude to this love, to this heart space. The gratitude just leveling, raising up the love. So you're able to feel it more strongly in your heart space. And feeling it expand now through your body, perhaps pumping through your body as the blood from your heart and your heart space leaves, going via your lungs, getting oxygen from your lungs, and then moves out into the furthest reaches of your body, through the arteries, the big arteries in your belly, in your lungs, the tops of your legs, tops of your arms. And then just going into the small arterioles, dividing to the arterioles, capillaries, and finally into each and every cell. So this color, this light, this texture moves beyond our heart space and out into the furthest reaches of our bodies, to our fingerprints, our toes. Every hair follicle has a capillary that feeds it. Every hair on our body, every hair on our head. Into our olfactory nerve, our sense of smell, noticing it in the fine blood vessels that supply our nose, that sit behind our eyes, that feed into our ears, our throat, our mouth, our tongues. Feeling this expansion of light, love, gratitude. So our whole body feels full. And we can't contain it, and it moves beyond our body, reaches beyond us. The space around us, the energy we take with us into the world. Returning into your heart space and creating a vision and a feeling for how you would like this day to be. The energy you would like to carry this day. Do you have any meetings, workshops, presentations, tough discussions, interactions, phone call you've been wanting to make, but have been avoiding? Bringing that into your heart space right now and creating a feeling for the highest possible outcome for the situation. Inviting love and gratitude to the situation. feeling the expansion coming into this moment, meeting, conversation. Moving from a smaller interaction to a feeling for our lives, feeling for what we want to create in our lives and our health, what energy we want to carry around with us, our financial situation, creating a feeling of love and energy, lightness, bringing that to the situation. Knowing that we are working with our magic, our alchemy, our superpowers in this moment, and that this is available to us at any time. We find ourselves becoming dysregulated, just dropping into our heart space, into this feeling, into this connection, to this expansion. And finally, if there are friends needing this expansion, this love, this support, bringing them into this heart space. Friends, family, loved ones. Connecting with them very deeply and powerfully. And then inviting perhaps nations, Israel, Palestine, Palestinians, Israelis, people caught up in conflict, Ukraine, Russia, people on the ground, the people most affected, South Africa, just offering this light, this love, this connection, holding these countries, people, places, offering the highest possible outcome. Do not meditate to fix yourself, to heal yourself, to improve yourself, to redeem yourself. Rather, do it as an act of love, of deep, warm friendship to yourself. Instead, there's now a meditation as an act of love. How endlessly delightful and encouraging. Letting go of these images, letting go of these people, places, allowing them to drift away as we might let go of a balloon and just watching it drift away, sending it love. Coming back to our feet grounding on the earth, seat in our chairs, shoulders, necks, and heads towards the sky. And just taking a few breaths as you come back to this moment. And I'm going to just play this song. If I can find it. Having a few moments.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round the tendies fire. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Sing that with us. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
So maybe learn to lead in love, and yeah, wish you a blessed day. Wasn't that beautiful? I'll put that who it is. And thank you for joining. And if you enjoyed it, please share it or comment on any of the groups that you might have been on that I posted about the mindful moment, because it really does encourage other people to listen and to enjoy and can share this moment. So please feel free to put anything in the chat or to unmute. And I'd love to hear from you. Or just enjoy this moment.
It was lovely. Thank you, Nikki.
Pleasure, Mum.
For some reason, I just couldn't get on, and then I got on, but I had no audio.
Nikki, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Nat. Thanks, Mum. Shame, I saw you were struggling. Yes. We shall be known.
That's a beautiful song. So can we have the, well, I suppose we're on the link that we can find it.
So, yeah, it's called We Shall Be Known by Ma Muse, M-A-M-U-S-E. So I've just put it in the chat. Yeah,
Okay.
Kate Northrup sang it, and she says she sings it to her little girls, and they all sing it and just humming and things. It's so powerful for the vagus nerve. Singing and humming, this is a lovely one to really stimulate the vagus nerve.
So stunning. Thank you so much.
And you can find the words. I know there's another, yeah, I'll get this other link. Someone else, it's Songs for the Great Turning. There's like the words and things. Let me go put this back here. I'll do the link. So you can just click on this link and then we'll open a tab for you in your browser, and then you can go back to that once we finish this call.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Is there anything else? Yeah. And then obviously next Tuesday night is Halloween, which is an interesting time as well, beyond all the commercial stuff of it, but it's when the veil between the two worlds is the thinnest, and we can connect most with those who've passed and those. That's the theory. So I haven't looked into it too much, but maybe we'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah. Can I talk to you once everybody's gone? Just for a few seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Let me just stop recording.
Anybody wants to talk? Yeah. Yeah.
Mum, I'm just stopping recording. Hold on.